Hey everybody, it's Brian and Dave, back again on the football farm, a day late this week because of scheduling conflicts, but we're here, we're back. How you doing, Dave?
Back at it again. I'm ready to harvest some football knowledge. It's a farm reference.
Ooh, you're starting off with the zingers right
I thought
away.
of that on the way home from work.
Did you?
Yep.
A productive bus ride home for you.
Yeah, it was pretty good actually.
Mm-hmm.
But then, new Meshuggah album, so I was also focused on that.
How can you focus when Meshuggah's on?
It's hard to come up with creative thought when you're listening to something in 11/8 time, let me tell you. Stupid.
I find it difficult. I find I do things slower at work when I have Intronaut on, because I'm trying to get the beat down in my head, or the rhythm down in my head.
It's harder to process if you're also processing that.
Yeah, I'm trying to do work things, and then I'll just catch myself staring at my keyboard, not doing work things, and like trying to keep up with the time instead.
I know. It's awful. Have you ever tried to go for a run with that stuff on?
No.
It's impossible. Because you're trying to get your feet in the pattern, and all of a sudden someone's hitting a snare in your legs.
If you're running, you need to be listening to some arena rock, or some straightforward, maybe The Darkness would be a good one to do. It's like bop, 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 like stuff like that would probably be a better way to run to.
I would probably go Thin
AC/DC, perfect running.
I think Thin Lizzy because a lot of their stuff's in...
Well, I was going to say Thin Lizzy, but I went for The
12/8,
Darkness to make it more current.
I like the... showing your age. I like the swagger of the three beats, the ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da, as opposed to bum-bum-jump-bum-bum. I like the...
Okay.
And you can sort of nod at the chicks. They love it. They're laughing.
As your hair's flapping in the wind.
Yeah, my Phil Lynott moustache.
Yeah.
Good chat.
All right. Well, it was international break time. The last time we saw it.
Time.
Yeah. And the games kicked off on, the 6th?
That's Thursday, ages ago.
Thursday the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a couple of these games.
That was the one day I was working of all the international break.
Luckily, on my Apple TV, I get the Watch ESPN app, and they carry a lot of the undercard European qualifying games.
I like that. That's very generous.
Because Fox
get the big one.
Fox get the bigger games.
So you didn't get to see Italy, Spain, I guess, but you saw.
No.
Oh,
And the thing that I don't like about, the Fox Sports app compared to the ESPN app is that the Fox Sports app don't have on-demand replays. So you have to wait until they re-show it. So you have to know when it's on. Whereas the ESPN app, I can just go soccer replays, and then it has a list of all the ones, and you just select it, and then it comes right on the screen.
Why would you possibly have the app unless
you wanted to do that?
The whole point.
That's why you have the app, so you can watch it whenever you want.
Otherwise, you just get cable and don't bother with the app.
Exactly.
Just watch it
because it's literally simulcasting whatever's on cable. So what's
what are
the
these
point?
guys like? Was it year 2002 or something? What are these guys?
That's unbelievable. Anywho, I know I could have watched Italy Spain, which I guess is an all right match, but and I also watched Iceland Finland. I was gonna watch Croatia Kosovo, but I decided that I probably shouldn't because that was just a nightmare. But apparently, in that game, both sets of fans were screaming "Kill the Serbs" back and forth at each other.
It's a great part of the world, actually.
So, there's that.
Well, at least they got something in common.
Yeah. A French friend of mine at work, who he actually just moved here a few months ago from France, as we are a French-based company. He's like a project manager guy, but we talk soccer sometimes, and I say, hey, you should read this book, Behind the Curtain, by Jonathan Wilson. He's like, I've never heard of this book. He can barely speak English as it is, but
yeah.
He obviously reads English because he communicates with people in our office and through email. So I let him borrow the Behind the Curtain book since I finished it, and he was very grateful.
Of course.
Excited. He's like, do they talk about Yugoslavia? And I was like, oh boy, do they.
Absolutely they do. Broken down by a nation. Yeah. Apart from Macedonia.
Yeah, because they don't care.
Come on.
Yeah, it's just Greece.
Exactly. Fyron.
I mean, don't tell Alexander the Great that it's just Greece.
He's dead. It doesn't matter.
It's a good point. Good point about Alexander.
Good point about people that are alive.
Good point about BC.
Before cheeses.
But Austria played Wales, and on this first day of the qualifying of this section of the qualifying stages, and Wales were underwhelming, I would say. Their first goal was an own goal, and I don't even remember their second goal. Oh,
I do, because I received an IM at work, which I've never had before.
An IM at work?
At work, because one of my friends was watching it. So I will tell you
what was he watching it on his phone?
Yeah.
Why don't you do that?
Because I didn't have the right app.
Oh.
But I got an IM, just popped up, boom.
Uh-huh.
Joe Allen Howitzer, it said.
Oh, was it? It was actually a stomper. How could I forget?
Yeah.
It was left-footed as well, I believe.
Joe Allen.
Yeah.
That's probably why he did his hammy and he's probably going to be out of Stokes' game. Just all that effort, just thwacking it in the corner.
So let's just. I got to go out on a side here.
It's fair enough. Our whole podcast is basically asides.
Yeah, it's all just branches off of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Swansea, right? They could have sold Key for £8 million allegedly to Stoke, while Joe Allen was still available. They decided to keep Key and not sign Joe Allen. Now, that tells me one of two things, because I've heard a lot of Swansea fans complain about this. And it could be a combination of both. Joe Allen, even though they would have sold Key, was still too expensive, since they had already, I think at that time, bought Borja, or had they not bought Borja yet?
They bought him right at the end.
That's true. Okay, so they hadn't bought Borja
yet. They spent the money on Van der
But
Hoorn.
I think they wanted a striker before a midfielder anyway.
Saving the cash.
So it was too expensive to bring in, even though they were going to sell Key. And I don't think Joe Allen wanted to come back.
Oh, maybe not, actually.
That's my inkling, that the number one inkling that I have is that Joe Allen really didn't want to come back. He wanted to do something different than Swansea.
You feel like, if he wanted to go back, they probably could have made it happen somehow.
Yeah. If he was like, I want to go to Swansea, then they would have been like, all right, let's do this deal. But since he was probably on the fence about it, that's probably, he would rather sow his oats somewhere else, and I guess.
Sow his oats?
Sow his oats. I guess that's more of a sexual term.
It is, yeah.
He's
been the chicken coop again.
Dave, that's a really good joke, Dave.
I read that as a joke.
Kudos.
Thanks, man.
Because he owns chicken farms, right?
Sure. Chickens are ecstatic when he turns up.
But yeah, so this game was pretty. Arnautovic was quite something in that game. He was everywhere for them, for Austria.
They're pretty evenly matched teams overall.
Yeah.
It's a very even group. Austria, Wales, Serbia, Ireland. They've all got good points.
Even Georgia's not terrible.
No.
Like, I watched them play, even though they were playing Ireland, they weren't bad. They play very well in the midfield as far as their passing triangles. They're very good at moving. They just can't finish. But they're very good at keeping the ball and making you work on defense.
They would have beaten Wales if they'd taken their chances on whenever the next game was.
Right, and that's the problem with Georgia, is that they don't do that.
I mean, the only team they can beat is Scotland.
Yeah.
As can many other countries. Almost all of them.
It's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, that group's one of those ones, any of those four teams could finish first or second. Serbia are very good going forward, and their defence is a complete bomb scare.
Yeah.
As they showed against Austria. I think you saw some of that too, didn't you?
Yeah.
We're just doing this group by group now. I've taken over. That's
okay, all right.
So Serbia had Tadic pulling the strings.
Mm-hmm.
Their last 10 competitive goals, he's either scored or assisted every single one.
Yeah.
That's Tadic.
Yeah. Tadic. Well, Tadic is really good. I mean, the fact that Southampton have been able to keep him is pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good business by them.
They're kind of under the radar. I mean, they always have one guy that pops out.
They do.
Here, but
Southampton are just like, if you wanted to break into the Premier League, go to Southampton, right? Because the coaching, the setup that they have there, they might be the best run club in Britain at the moment. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you could, a couple of years ago, you might have said the same about Swansea, but not anymore. But yeah, probably Southampton.
But because Southampton actually recruit good. They recruit well.
Yeah.
They recruit the right players to fit who their manager is, which,
it seems obvious.
Yeah. But
well, I mean, did they this summer? I mean, the new manager.
Yeah.
Who did they bring in?
I mean, it seems like it. They're playing fine.
Well, they've got their new record signing. He's been injured. He hasn't played yet.
Right.
What's his name? Sofiane... Is it Boufal?
Sofiane Stevens? The musician? The folk musician?
I downloaded his album like 6 years ago, one of his early ones. It was terrible.
It's really bad.
That guy's awful.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this Southampton guy's going to turn out a bit better. I'm sure he will. Can't make it worse.
But yeah, Van Dijk's another one. He was playing at Celtic, and turns out to be maybe one of the best, probably the top 5 center half in the Premier League, I'd say.
Yeah, they from Celtic they bought him and Wanyama and Fraser Forster. Mm-hmm. So
and they're all. I mean, Wanyama's
good.
now at Tottenham, so yeah.
And a lot of teams with Forster's a very good goalkeeper. Van Dijk, he's. I mean, can you imagine him staying there another year after this?
No, he'll probably go to, I don't know, PSG.
United.
You think he wants to stay in Britain? He's a British defender, probably, isn't he?
Well, Dutch guys like it here.
They do, and he's a no nonsense defender. He's not going to be. He's a good passer of the ball, he really is, but he's more of the physical presence in a back two.
I've only once seen him look bad in the football pitch, and that's when he came up against Peter Pollitt for Aberdeen. Oh, he was embarrassed. Sent off after 15 minutes. It was great.
All right. And, Friday last week, nothing really happened. It was all blowouts, it seems like, unless you want to talk about Switzerland and Hungary, because I don't.
No, well, I have no inkling of what might have happened.
Scotland, Lithuania. Dave, your thoughts?
The thing with Strachan is, I think the players really like him, but he's not the best tactically. So in that case, he probably should have appointed someone in the back room who was quite good tactically, but he appointed Mark McGee, who managed Aberdeen to the record defeat 6 years ago, 9-0 to Celtic. It was a good one. I mean, they're awful tactically.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't want to make it look bad, right? But if you're a team at home to sort of an inferior team, what do you want going forward? Like, what do you want your attack to? What do you
against
want
an inferior team?
Yeah. How would you want to break them down?
Relentlessly. But what do you mean though?
Well, sort of
tactically.
What attributes would you want your attack to have?
Speed. Quick passing.
Yes, and. And probably relate to that movement, right?
Movement, yeah.
Exactly.
Guys moving around every which way, doing what they want, because the team is inferior, so your superior skills and technical abilities should shine through.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
And that is why, when you play Lithuania, you do not start Chris Martin up front, a man who has not scored in his last 20-something league games.
Lithuania is a basketball country, first and foremost.
It's fair enough.
What do they do in drawing Scotland in a football match?
Well, they're not a terrible team. I'll just say all the cliches. They're well organised, yeah? Looking to hit us on the counter, whatever. And it's so obvious. It's like, I don't know any of their players, but I automatically know how they're going to play against Scotland at home, because everyone does it, because it always works.
Yeah.
Scotland are so bad, and in the second game, hapless. You bring in Stephen Fletcher. Stephen Fletcher! Why is he still...
West Bromwich Albion, Stephen Fletcher.
No, Sheffield Wednesday, you're wrong.
He moved to Sheffield Wednesday?
Darren Fletcher is at West
Brom. Sorry.
But he's gash now as well. Mm-hmm. It's like Strachan he talks
Sorry,
very well
my
about...
Fletcher's confused. There's a lot of Fletchers for Scotland.
They're both rubbish these days.
There's 3 of them, isn't there? There's
No.
Darren... Oh, Stephen Fletcher.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The striker.
The striker, yeah. He was at Marseille last year, though. What happened?
On loan.
Yeah, but he played well for them.
Yeah, but they don't offer as much money as Sheffield Wednesday, probably.
So he'd rather go from the top, like one of the biggest clubs in France, one of the top 3 biggest clubs in France, and go play for Sheffield Wednesday.
I don't think he's that intelligent.
Okay.
Of a man. But
you're living in Marseille, Stephen. Marseille.
But the thing with him is, Strachan always talks very well about. He wanted to get rid of the culture in Scottish football. It's like jobs for the boys. So it's always the same players they keep going based on their past reputation and stuff.
It's
the
baloney.
same coaches and blah blah. He's like, I want to end this, and he's done exactly the same thing. Against Slovakia, Oliver Burke wasn't even dressed as a substitute. maybe he was injured or something.
This is